Welcome, and thank you for joining our heat illness prevention training. In this training, we will focus on some of the procedures we can take to eliminate heat-related illnesses. A couple questions for you. What would you do if someone starts to sweat profusely? Someone shows signs of heat illness? Someone passes out because of the heat? Do you know your company's current emergency process? Hopefully, by the end of this training, you will have the knowledge and be confident enough to take action if you are ever exposed to any of these situations. This training is divided into 3 different training sessions. In the first training session, we will cover acclimatization and the health effects of the heat. The second training session covers provisions of water and access to shade. Lastly, session number 3 covers high heat procedures and emergency response. Training session number 1. Acclimatization and the health effects of the heat. So why is it so important to prevent heat-related illnesses? Well, heat illnesses can be a matter of life and death. Workers die from heat stroke every single summer, and every death is preventable. When heat stroke doesn't kill immediately, it can shut down your major body organs, causing acute heart, liver, kidney, muscle damage, nervous system problems, and blood disorders. On top of that, when you have a serious injury or death occur at work, everyone's morale is diminished. Workers suffering from heat exhaustion are also at a greater risk for accidents, given that they are less alert and can be confused. Acclimatization. Acclimatization is the process of becoming accustomed to a hot environmental conditions, 80 degrees or more. The National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health suggests that employers should gradually adapt to extreme temperatures. A person will gradually get used to their environment over a 1-week period. The first day in a hot environment, you may only achieve half of the work that a fully adapted worker would achieve. Each day, you should increase your workload slightly until you are able to operate at full performance. Supervisors should also keep a close eye on new employees, especially for the first 14 days. Health effects of the heat. When the body is unable to cool off by sweating, heat-induced illnesses such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke can occur. These illnesses are very serious and can sometimes result in death. High temperature and humidity, direct sun or heat, limited air movement, physical exertion, poor physical condition, some medications, and inadequate tolerance for hot workplaces are areas that can all contribute to heat stress illnesses. Here are some of the common signs and symptoms of heat stress and treatments for each. Heat rash symptoms are red clusters of pimples or small blisters. They are typically caused by excessive sweating that can lead to clogged pores. First aid treatment is to cleanse and dry the affected area with using calamine lotion or dusting powder to increase comfort. Heat cramps are painful spasms of the leg, arm, or abdominal muscles. They typically occur during or after hard work or exercise and are caused by electrolyte deficiencies that result from extended periods of intense sweating. To treat, you should stop activity and sit in a cool place and drink plenty of water or electrolyte fluids. Do not return to strenuous activity for a few hours after the cramps have subsided. Heat exhaustion symptoms include fatigue, headache, dizziness, muscle weakness, nausea, chills, tingling of the hands, feet, confusion, loss of coordination, fainting, or collapse. Causes of heat exhaustion are because of dehydration, lack of acclimatization, reduction of blood in circulation, strain on circulatory system, and reduced blood flow up to the brain. In order to treat, you should rest in the shade or in a cool place. Drink plenty of water or electrolyte fluids. Heat stroke occurs when core temperature is exceeding 104 degrees and the body can no longer cool itself. It can occur suddenly if heat exhaustion is not treated, and it can be fatal. A person suffering heat stroke needs immediate attention and should be taken to a medical facility as soon as possible. Brain damage and even death are possible. You should call 911 and summon medical aid immediately. You should move the person to a cool, shaded area and douse the body continuously with water. In other words, anything that's going to bring that body temperature down. I have to mention a very important point before we continue. Please be aware of the differences between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. With heat exhaustion, you will experience faint or dizziness, excessive sweating, cool, pale, or clammy skin, nausea, vomiting, or muscle cramps. When heat stroke is present, you will have throbbing headache, the sweating has stopped, your body temperature is above 103 degrees, your skin is red, hot, and dry, there will be nausea or vomiting, and you may lose consciousness. Both are very serious medical conditions. And if you notice, some of them have similar symptoms. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke both have headache, nausea, or vomiting. And the issue that a lot of people have is that they really cannot tell the difference between the two. That is why you should treat each symptom immediately, or you can face some serious illnesses or even death.